This is going to be a follow-up video to one that I did for Contra ETFs, which said, are you prepared? And I talked about 3 different levels of contrarian exchange-traded funds. I looked at non-leveraged, I looked at 2-time leverage, and 3-time leverage, just looking at the major indices. Well, this video is going to put this together in a nice tight bow. We're going to look at a well-rounded basket of non-leveraged, of 2-time leverage, and 3-time leverage Contra ETFs to take a look at when the market starts to fall. If this is something that's interesting to you, you sit right there. So we're going to talk about exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, but the contrarian version of them, which means they move opposite to the market. These are tools to use when the market is moving down. These instruments go up in value, and you know something? You have less exposure to risk because you're looking at an exchange-traded fund. Now, an exchange-traded fund is sort of like a mutual fund in that it tracks either an index or a group of stocks. These are good ways to play the market to the downside without having to sell short, or if you're not knowledgeable in options, not having to buy puts. So with that, let's get into it. Let's get into my screen. So we're only strictly looking at contrarian or contra exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. In my first video, this is my non-leveraged folder. In the first video, I only looked at the Russell 2000, which was RWM, the Qs, PSQ. We also looked at the Dow, which is DOG, and the S&P 500, which is SH. So now I wanted to give you a more well-rounded group of stocks to look at. How about emerging markets? When the market is going down, well, I can play EUM to the upside as the market is going down. Or we're looking at something like small cap, SBB, mid cap, MYY, gold on a non-leveraged basis, DGZ, financials, SEF. When the financials go down, you play this to the other side of the market, this will go up as financials go down. And on oil is a hot topic right now. So if oil goes down, this will go up DDG. Now, interesting thing about this list, when I look at the non-leveraged Contra ETFs, I had a hard time finding some of those that had good average volume. Be careful with some of these non-leveraged Contra ETFs. They don't always trade a lot. So I wanted you to see them and that they were there, but I do want you to be very careful when playing some of these. If I sort by average volume in my list, the heavily traded ones are the ones that track the indices, like the S&P 500, the Qs, the Russell, the Dow, emerging market. Now when I look at the ones for financial, oil, mid-cap gold, and small cap, be careful with those because they're not as heavily traded, but they are there to help to round out this list. Now, something else. Remember I put out a video recently about if the market was in a bubble or not? I want to show you the value of looking at Contra ETFs to determine if the market is really falling or not. Notice that our Contras, or our ETFs, don't track our value, relative value, and relative safety. They're going to be defaulted to a value of 1. What's most important to me when looking at Contra ETFs is relative timing. Are these going up in price? RT stands for relative timing, and it looks at the short-term price trend of an individual equity here. Interesting that only one of them, which is the emerging markets, was moving up as a Contra ETF. Actually, it's flat. I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to right-click on this watch list value down below, and I'm going to view the average graph. Now, when the market is moving down, these Contras should be moving up. This is another reason why I'm not saying that the market is in a bubble at this time. Now, recently, they're running. When I'm really concerned about playing these is when relative timing goes above 1, and currently it's not above 1. Let me show you some more information. Remember coronavirus? Well, the market went down, didn't it? Look at back here in February of 2020. Look at this. Look at the move of these Contras. Were they able to make you money? Absolutely. Was that an indication that the market was going down? Absolutely as well. So I'm coming back to now. We're still moving down on these non-leveraged Contras. Nice up day today, a nice little rebound, or over the last couple of days because the market's gotten hit, right? But look at what we see right here. I'm not ready to pull the trigger and saying that the market is full-blown down yet until RT gets above 1. So that's our first basket of non-leveraged Contra ETFs. Let's go look at the 2-time. So the non-leveraged Contra ETFs are ideal for those people who are a little bit more conservative in the market, but still want to play the market to the downside. Now we look at the 2-time leverage, which means for these indices, if they go down 1%, these Contras, these 2-time leverage Contras go up 2%. So it's a more aggressive way of playing the market to the downside. Let's take a look at here. From the indexes, we had the Qs, which was the QID, the SDS for the S&P 500, the DXD for the Dow, and where's the other one? That was in the Russell, TWM. What did I add to this? How about biotech? When biotech goes down, BIS, because it's a 2-time leverage Contra ETF, it'll go up 2%. What else is in here? Emerging markets for EEV as I go down the list. Crude oil, SCO. Wow, look at the move on that. As oil goes down, this goes up. And that gives you a great opportunity to make some money. The financials, SKF, and this one has gold. DUST. As gold goes down, this 2-time leverage Contra ETF will go up. So we can keep our eyes on that as well. Let's do the same thing. Let's go to the watch list average. Watch the watch list average graph. It's starting to move as well. Let's go back to 2020, COVID, same kind of scenario. These Contra ETFs are a great way to see if the market is really going down or not. COVID hit, these took off, they pulled back down, and as I go back into right now, they're starting to bounce. The market is getting some bearish momentum, but I'm looking at this RT on this watch list graph is not above 1 yet. Did break through a couple of levels of resistance, and guess what? I'm going to keep my eyes on these. All right, let's go to the last one, which is the 3-time, and this is for the more aggressive trader. Big time, because now for all of these indices that go down 1%, this goes up 3%. I'm also going to tell you, be careful holding triple leverage Contra ETFs overnight or for an extended amount of time. They can hurt you as quickly as they can make you money, as quickly as they can take you out quickly. So just keep that. That was a lot of times I said quickly, huh? Just keep that in mind. So again, if we look at the list that is here, I don't have the indexes in here, unfortunately. I did have them, but for some reason they didn't stay. So these are the additions on the biotech, LABD. Look at that. Must mean that biotech is going down today because this ETF, Contra ETF, is up 4%. Also on oil, as oil goes down, this goes up. Remember, this is 3-time leverage, and small cap on the tech, SOXC, real estate, DRV, high beta stocks. This is relatively new. When beta stocks go down, this goes up. This is a great way of really putting your portfolio together to truly take advantage of the downside. This is helping you to be prepared. All right, let's go do this one last time. Let's view the graph. Look at that move on the 3-time leverage non-Contra 3-time leverage Contra ETFs. Look at that bounce. Again, RT is not above 1, telling you that these Contras are in an uptrend right now, but it's getting there. Let's go back to 2020. I'm sure that these really took off. There's COVID again, and look at the move on these Contras. Holy smokes. Excellent idea. Excellent way to make money in the market, and a good way to trade them, looking at the 3 and the 8 exponential moving average. So folks, this was designed to follow up to a video called Are You Prepared? Remember, we were just looking at the indexes on these Contra ETFs, all 3 of them, non-leveraged, 2-time leverage, and 3-time leverage. Now you have a more complete watch list of stocks to look at. If you are a subscriber to the VectorVest program, you have this information at your fingertips at any point in time. If you look down in the description, we'll give you a link to take a trial to the VectorVest software. Another thing I want to talk about before I end this presentation, next week we will be starting a new channel. It will be our live channel. So all of our Trending Thursdays, all of our streaming webcasts or streaming live streams will now be on that channel. And that's only because of you guys, folks. You guys have helped us to grow to the point where we now need 2 channels to give you this information. If you like what you saw here and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the content. Most of all, I want to see your comments. Let me know what you think about this video. Was it useful to you? Is this something that you can use going forward? I would love to hear from you. So with that, folks, until the next time, see ya.